Hello, everybody. For those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm Dr. Stephen Goldstein. I'm a chiropractor. Been practicing for, wow, 35 years in Limbrook. So I want to change your physiology before we get into the topic. Changing your physiology by putting a smile on your face. So there was this 85-year-old woman who went on a blind date with a 90-year-old man. And when she came back to her house, her daughter was living with her, she looked a little perturbed. And her daughter said, what happened? And the mother said, I had to slap him 3 times. The daughter said, you mean he got fresh? He said, no, I thought he died. Anyway, I hope that puts a smile on your face. When you smile, it does change your physiology, especially in these times of stress and fear. So I want to expand your mind. First of all, I do have notes I'm going to be looking at because there's a lot of things I want to cover in a short amount of time. It said that when a balloon expands to its full size, it never contracts back to its original shape or size. And so today I hope to expand your mind with some thinking that will not contract back to the way you thought before, giving you some new ideas. So it's very interesting because we humans many times kind of do what nature is already doing. Back in the Middle Ages, there were architects that built castles, strong walls made out of stone to protect the population that was living on the inside. And if they did a good job, those castle walls stood the test of time and stood against invaders. But sometimes those walls were breached and the enemy came into the town, city that these walls were protecting. If the army on the inside was strong enough, it would repel those invaders. Well, our body kind of has those castle walls, one being our skin, the other being our immune system. But today with what's going on, we think that we can have a little better walls by putting on a mask, wearing gloves. And let me say, this is not about not wearing masks. It's not about not wearing gloves. You have to do what you feel right with. But even with the mask and gloves, people who isolated still got sick, still came down with COVID-19. Because when the virus or bacteria gets through those masks or gloves, if our immune system isn't strong enough to handle it, then we do end up getting sick. So what makes, in order to understand what makes our immune system strong, we need to understand what are we doing wrong that makes our immune system weak. Well, one of the things we're doing wrong is if we don't go outside and get some sunshine, because sun helps the body to manufacture vitamin D, and vitamin D is involved in every single step of our immune function. The other thing, when we're isolated and trapped inside, we tend to not make healthy food choices. Sugar, for instance, sugar weakens our immune system. It might boost our energy, but it gives our body nothing in return. In order for the body to break down sugar, it's using enzymes, it's using trace minerals, and we're not getting anything back. So it's actually weakening us. When we eat real food, we're getting protein, carbohydrates, fats, enzymes, amino acids, things that the body needs not only to digest the real food, but to store these things so that we can digest other foods. And so also it strengthens our immune system. So eating simple carbs, white flour, as I said, sugar, breads, pastas. Growing up, I remember the commercial of Wonder Bread, helps to build strong bodies 12 ways. I think we'd probably be better off eating the bag that Wonder Bread was wrapped in. Of course, I'm kidding. The other thing is alcohol, smoking, not getting enough sleep, not exercising, and then, of course, stress, fear, worry. These weaken the immune system as well. The other thing is drugs. Now, sometimes drugs are necessary. I'm not saying never, ever, ever, but there was a study done by the American Medical Association that the average senior, and this study was done decades ago, so these numbers are probably going to be even greater. The average senior took 9 prescription drugs a day. That doesn't count for the over-the-counter drugs they may be taking. And the study found that 70% of these drugs were unnecessary. So what do these drugs do to the body? Well, the body has to process these drugs, and it stresses the body and also tends to weaken the immune system. So now that we understand what weakens the immune system, let's get into what strengthens the immune system. And basically what strengthens the immune system is the exact opposite. Eating real foods, eating fruits, vegetables, good protein, exercise, sunlight, working on not being stressed. Basically, shut off the TV. Don't watch the news. It's all bad news. The world goes on whether we watch the news or not, but the news tends to be very negative today. And when we start our day or end our day watching the news, we certainly can't be in a good frame of mind. So what is your immune system? Well, there are 2 parts of the immune system. There's the innate immune system. That's the immune system that you were born with. I remember going to a lecture in biology class and being told that we're born as a blank slate. Well, that's not true. We're born with everything we need to survive in this world. We have an innate intelligence. That innate intelligence is breathing for us, digesting the food we got through the placenta, causing our heart to beat, our lungs to breathe. It's healing our body. Every day, cells, healthy cells, sick cells die off, have to be replaced by hopefully normal cells. So we're not a blank slate. And we get that immune system inside of us. It's composed of 3 cells: phagocytes, macrophages, neutrophils. Phagocytes are kind of like the Pac-Men that eat up that bad bacteria, eat up those bad viruses. Macrophages eat the leftover debris that the phagocytes might have left off. And then you have neutrophils. Well, 70% of your mucus contains neutrophils. And what neutrophils do is they attack these bacteria or viruses, and through chemicals, they destroy them. So those are the 3 cells that you have with your innate immunity. And then you have what's called an adaptive or acquired immunity. This you get through mom. Sorry, Dad. This you get through mom. And the first way of getting it is through the placenta. So when mom was exposed to those childhood diseases, chickenpox, mumps, measles, her antibodies were passed on to you. And when you're born, that resistance strengthens your immune system for about 3 months. Unfortunately, today with vaccines, and that's a whole nother topic, mom doesn't have that natural immunity, and so she does not pass that antibodies and that immunity on to a newborn baby. So that's the adaptive immune system. The other way that we start to acquire or adapt to our environment is as we pass through the birth canal, we're exposed to mom's microbiome on her skin. On your skin, you have all kinds of good bacteria, bad bacteria, viruses, pathogens. And as we're passed through, we're exposed to all that. And that's a good thing, because that turns on our body to start to recognize these good and bad bacteria and start to produce our own antibodies so that our body can handle it. The other way of being exposed and getting good antibodies and strengthening our immune system is through breastfeeding. Colostrum, which is that first liquid that passes through the breast milk, gives us another boost, another antibodies, which can then protect us not only for 3 months, but could be as much as 6 months. And so again, we're exposed to the microbiome on mom's skin. When mothers go to breastfeed, they don't say, wait a second, I first have to clean the area. I better first take a shower. These things, of course, are not possible when you're outside in public. And so when the baby goes to eat, it's exposed to these bacteria and microbes. And guess what? Doesn't get sick. The body immediately turns on to recognize these things. Right now, if we took a swab and swabbed your throat, we would find all kinds of pathogenic bacteria and viruses growing inside of you. We'd find staph, strep, pneumococcus, which causes pneumonia, maybe even diphtheria. Well, how come I'm not sick? Because your body keeps those pathogens at a low rate. Your body is taking care of it. We're exposed to millions, billions of bacteria every single day. And yet, most of us walk around not even thinking about it. I remember as a kid, I was with my grandfather and I dropped some type of food on the floor. And he said, quick, pick it up, kiss it up to God, and you can eat it and you'll be okay. So I guess if you're an atheist, you're out of luck. Of course, I'm kidding. God had nothing to do with it as far as what we're eating now, although as a believer, we do have that immune system. We are a divine creation. I want to read you a study on exactly what we're exposed to. The study was from the Hygiene Council, funded by Rickard Beck Kaiser. That's the guy with the company that makes Lysol. So a very interesting study. And they found these are the amount of microbes, bacteria that are found in every square inch on the surface. A square inch is kind of like that. That's how big a square inch is. So in a toilet bowl, there's 3.2 million bacteria per square inch. Kitchen drain, 567,845 bacteria. Sponge or counter wiping cloth that you use to wipe things down, 134,630 bacteria. The bathtub near the drain, 119,468 bacteria. Don't worry, I'm not going to test you on it. You don't have to remember this. The kitchen sink near the drain, 17,964 bacteria. Kitchen faucet, 13,227 bacteria. The bathroom faucet handle, 6,267 bacteria per square inch. The study also found that children's toys had an average of 345 bacteria per square inch. That's very interesting because if you notice, why do babies put things in their mouth? Why are they sucking their fingers or their toes or their toys? This is their innate intelligence saying to them, you need to be exposed to these bacteria, these viruses, these pathogens, so that we can build your immune system. We can strengthen your immune system. It's giving your body an exercise and workout to strengthen your immune system. So, what strengthens your immune system? Well, I'm a chiropractor, so I have to talk about chiropractic. Chiropractic strengthens your immune system. There was a study done by a Ron Piro. He was a leading cancer and genetic research specialist. He found that chiropractic patients of all ages had a 200% greater immune system than people who never received chiropractic care. And he found that chiropractic patients had a 400% greater immune system than people with serious diseases. So what does this chiropractic do? Most people think it's about pain relief. And yes, they come in with pain, they come in with headaches and all sorts of problems. But it's also about keeping the body functioning normally and healthy. I have a video up on my website that shows the difference between a person who got an adjustment. It showed how the cerebral spinal fluid was flowing through the brain and the upper neck area, the cervical area, before a chiropractic adjustment and after a chiropractic adjustment. And you saw a tremendous increase in cerebral spinal fluid flow. Kind of like turning on that hose to water your plants. Your plants are going to do better with the more water they're going to get. Well, your body is going to function better if the cerebral spinal fluid is moving optimally. So a lot of what's going on, we've referenced, compared this pandemic to the Spanish flu. What could happen? Millions could die. Of course, those numbers showed us that they were wrong. But let's talk about chiropractic in the event of the Spanish flu, going back to 1918. There were a number of studies done. Chiropractic was at its infancy. It was only around for over 20 years. Started in Iowa by D.D. Palmer. Well, in the state of Iowa, a study showed that medical doctors treated 93,590 patients with 6,116 deaths, basically a loss of one patient out of every 15. In the same state, 4,735 patients were treated by chiropractors, with a loss of only 6 cases, a loss of one patient out of every 789. Nationally, chiropractors cared for over 46,000 patients who were diagnosed with 1918 flu. Of these patients, there were a loss of 54, or 1 out of 859. So just by getting adjusted strengthens your immune system to not only prevent you from getting sick, but if you do get sick, helps to get you over the illness better. Today, we're trying to prevent death. I'm not talking chiropractically, I'm talking the worldview is we're trying to prevent death. And unfortunately, people die. It's a tragedy. We can't prevent death. But what we can do is optimize health. We can try to get people to live a longer, healthier life. B.J. Palmer, a very famous chiropractor and developer of chiropractic, was quoted as saying, while other professions are concerned with changing the environment to suit the weakened body, chiropractors are concerned with strengthening the body to suit the environment. And that's very important. So what else can we do? Well, aside from chiropractic, if you go to a chiropractor and you're still eating junk food and you're still smoking, a pack or 2 or 3 a day, we're not going to help you that much. So one of the things that we can do is to take natural nutritional supplements. You hear doctors talking about hydroxycodone, administering with zinc. Well, the reason why they're administering with zinc is zinc helps to break the wall of the virus so the body can handle it better. One of the side effects we hear of COVID-19 is loss of smell, loss of taste. What's interesting is this is caused from a zinc deficiency syndrome. You don't have to take my word for it. Google zinc deficiency syndrome. And if you're zinc deficient, it shows that you can suffer from a loss of smell and a loss of taste. There's also a bunch of other symptoms that you can suffer from a zinc deficiency. I'm not going to go into all that right now. Vitamin A. Vitamin A helps support your mucous membranes. Vitamin C enhances natural killer cells by as much as 10-fold. So these killer cells, what are they doing? Well, believe it or not, they can kill cancer cells. They can help to kill bacteria and viruses. Every day, studies show that we might have 10,000 cancer cells cruising around in our body. So why don't we have cancer? Because our body is killing them and taking care of it. And if our body is strong and healthy, it can do just that. And then, of course, you hear about vitamin D. Well, vitamin D is involved in almost every single immune function. Again, there's a lot to be discussed about these vitamins, so I'm not going to get into all of that now because that could take hours. So how do we know when we need to strengthen our body? Well, many of us go for blood tests. Will blood tests tell us how our immune system is functioning? Will taking our blood pressure tell us if our immune system is strong enough and how it's functioning? No. What about an EKG? Will that tell us if our immune system is strong enough and how it's functioning? No again. I'm not saying these tests aren't important, but they give us a small window as to what's happening in our body. How many times have we heard of people who had a stress test, were told that their heart is functioning great, only in a short period of time to die of a heart attack? Sadly, these things happen. Now, when we do have these disease processes, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, our body didn't just break down the day we were diagnosed with these illnesses. It took years for the body to break down before we have that kind of diagnosis or symptomology. If you have acid reflux, the body didn't just say, okay, now you're going to have acid reflux. It took years for the body not to function properly before you had that symptom of acid reflux. So what I'm offering today in my office is there are ways to determine how well your body is functioning, how your immune system is, how your nervous system is. One thing that we do is we have a zinc test. It's bloodless, it's painless, it's very simple, and it basically tells us, are you deficient in zinc? Do you need that extra zinc to build your immune system and fight off these viruses? The other test we have is called a heart rate variability test. This is a very powerful test because it tells us how your nerve system is functioning. We take this test with you lying down, which shows us how your parasympathetic nerve system is functioning. And then we take it with you standing and sitting, which tells us how your sympathetic nerve system is functioning. So what are these two systems? Well, the parasympathetic nerve system is kind of like the brake on your car, slows things down. When you go to bed at night, it's the parasympathetic nerve system that's in charge, slowing you down, helping you to rest, helping your body to repair and regenerate itself. The sympathetic nerve system, on the other hand, is the gas pedal on your car, speeds things up. When you're going to do a workout, it's the sympathetic nerve system that's in charge. So with this test, we get to see how your nerve system is functioning. If your nerve system is not functioning optimally, then your immune system certainly can't be functioning optimally. The other thing that we have is called a symptom survey. Symptom survey tests different areas of your body, different systems of your body, to see how those systems are functioning so that we can determine what needs to be done to fix and strengthen your body. At the end of this later today, I'll put a link so that you can fill out a symptom survey and get it back to us. You could email it to us or contact us in any way. If you want to email it, it's at goldspine, GOLDSPINE @AOL.com. So you can email it to us and we can go over that with you. If you'd like to come into the office and do the zinc test and the heart rate variability test, those tests usually we charge $150. But if you mention that you attended this or saw this in any way, shape, or form, we're gonna not charge you that at all. So we're gonna go through these tests and then sit down with you and explain what's going on with your body and what we can do or what you can do to help your body to be stronger. I think that was all the stuff that I wanted to cover. I said I'd keep it to a half hour. I'm actually under, so that's a good thing. Anyway, God bless. I want you to stay well, healthy, be positive. I'll be doing some more of these. One of the things I'm working on right now is to do some meditation podcasts. Meditation definitely helps to quiet the mind and heal the body. I'll get into that another time. Thanks for watching. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. So have a great day. Thanks again.